studies of geopolitics, I think this Arab-Israeli American alliance will be a greater part of the Asia Pacific, which was called previously, now we call it in Indo-Pacific region, and the geopolitics surrounding Indo-Pacific region, right from the Horn of Africa to United States, India in between, Japan and Australia downwards, and definitely it will cover that region because of the presence of Iran and the deal of Iran and China. It will create, you can say, more hostilities between China and United States in the region of Middle East as well, and that region will start contesting because once Iran is there in the basket of China, maybe Iraq may also follow there. We never know.
Listen, yeah,
Syria
I
is there.
mean, it's a
Lebanon.
definite scenario. I mean, one thing is Israelis are not used to thinking Indo-Pacifically. It's a very important geopolitical term, as you know. Obviously, it's used throughout that region and used in the United States. It's not really a term that Israelis think of themselves as being a part of, but you're absolutely right. Israelis definitely are used to thinking of themselves as an American ally, are definitely used to thinking, at least in hypothetical Cold War terms, having gone through the actual Cold War on the American side and being faced with Soviet proxies and allies across our borders. But sure, this is a possible scenario. Obviously, the real world is more complicated. Israel has its own relationship with China. I myself was part of a delegation of Israeli journalists and spokespersons to China last summer. And Israel wants a relationship with China, just as it wants an important relationship with India. And it wants to juggle that with having, obviously, an all-important relationship with the United States. But of course, what we've seen in the last 6 months can't be ignored. And the hardening of that division between the U.S. and China. And yes, I think that at least in some scenarios, this normalization is not just about Israel and the UAE. It's not even just about the Middle East. It's about this larger region. And you have even expanded the scope, not even just about the region from Corfu to the Andamans, but about a region from Corfu to Tasmania. And
yes, it will go.
That's fascinating.
See, I always say there is the Quad, and the future is not just Quad. It will be Quad plus. You must have heard about Quad. That it's a military alliance, unwritten military alliance between United States, India, Japan, and Australia for Indo-Pacific region to counter China. Now, if I look at Israel, I look at Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, they are also allies of United States. So I always maintain one thing, that Quad will be a replica of NATO in Asia, especially in Indo-Pacific region. And the expansion will take place, you can say Quad plus will include Israel, Saudi Arabia, GCC countries. Because
listen, it's very, very interesting.